I drew my drawing like it was, so it looks kind of like Disney, because in my thing I wrote the words was "I feel empty," and so this is trying to reinforce that unlike Disney, there's sometimes like a happily ever after. And also I used color to represent like happiness, but I also put in like two dark flowers, and I drew flowers because like plants are a symbol of change and like coming of age. So I think that's also what this story is about. And I drew this to like reinforce the social issue, which is discrimination. And I think in the picture this is supposed to be my main character, Ellie, and she's looking back into what happened. And so in my story, like the people that have power are mainly what it's kind of a mental power, because like most people think that like in the story the white people have the power and the black people have like less power or significantly less. And so the events that like developed the theme was Jeremiah, who's also a main character's his change. And so he goes to the denial stage first, and he believed that he would never be equivalent to a white man. And so just on page 5, he said just one step and somehow the weight of his skin seemed to change and it got heavier. And then moving on, he started getting into resentment, and he said that he was kind of getting mad at how he was like discriminated and how people were always making comments. And he said that on page 106, if you were with a white boy, they probably would have smiled and kept going. And so he hates how people are judging him just based on his appearance. And so then he starts getting like into the confusion stage, and he said, how can I hate white people and love you? And he doesn't know how to answer that, and so he's kind of torn. But I think he's realizing that he's kind of judging like white people also, like they're judging him. So I think he's learning that he does have to be accepting. And so then he goes into acceptance, and he says they're not those churches, they are black churches, and because they're black churches they affect me. And so I think that sort of tells how he's learning that even though other people try to empathize, they'll never truly understand what he's going through. And so that leads to the change and the evolution. And so he says, he asks his dad, who Jeremiah actually looks up to, and he said, do you think there's one white person in the world who is different? And so now he believes that one white person will try to make a difference in the world. And one thing that really like made me feel emotional about it was his dad said, I really hope so. And so my claim I got from this story was that society wears their cultural blinders based on people's race. And these events kind of build up the theme of discrimination because they all happen throughout the book, and they're talking about how unfair discrimination is treating them. And I think people should care about this because it's kind of the same like hate, or like discrimination is kind of the same hate that's like sparking up all these like religion issues in the world, and it's just making people feel like they're all separated even though we should all be like together and unified.